Monte Dutton, Gaston Gazette. Jack, one of the reasons that tag team drafting is not going to be is that basically people are being told that you can't do that for so long because of the overheating issues. I mean, does it concern you all, or how do you manage it, that in the biggest race of the season, with the laps winding down, the same way that some guy might not be able to make it on gas, but he's going to go for it at the end of the race, do you worry that with the race on the line, there's the danger of an engine blowing at the front of the pack, engine failure causing a mayhem at the end of the race? How do you manage that when you have competitive racers who are going to race for the win, when there's some risk attached to what you can do when that time comes?
Monty, I'm watching it just like you. You should be asking Greg that question. You know, the point that's there is that there's a limit to how long the engine can keep its water, and there's a limit to how long it will go on fuel. And as you approach the checkered flag, everybody, you know, in a perfect world, you'd use all of your fuel up, you'd use your engine and your water up, and you just get the checkered flag in time. And you know, that will wind up being the, you know, it is true that these cars are hard to push now. It is true that they're loose. But I believe it will be the case that the race will be decided, much as it was for the shootout. I believe it will be decided with two cars that tangle up, that tag up, that connect, and that are the best two cars run together. Not necessarily the best car is going to win the race, but the best two cars are going to have a chance to do it if they well, I think the best two cars will win the race, but I don't think they'll spend much time doing that throughout the race, which was one of the criticisms I think that fans had.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, you're right up the alley. I mean, we could, you know, beat this horse to death, but the facts are that, you know, the fans kind of spoke out, wanted to see these cars back in a larger pack, and I think NASCAR wanted to see that as well, and the drivers were about half and half. And so they started implementing things to try and break them apart. And, you know, I think lowering the back bumper another 2 inches really keeps the cars apart now. Because I can have a run at that car in front of me, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to push him. I'm going to push him. And I get within 2 feet from him, and it's like I start looking around and look at the gauges to see if the engine's still running, you know, because it just stops, and then that guy just takes off like he pushed the turbo button. You know, his car just drives away because that air, it just pushes his car, so it keeps the cars from being bumper to bumper and driving around all the time. So you really can't. And Carl and I tried it yesterday. I mean, I pushed Kyle to the lead, but you know, it's hard to stay connected to the car, for one, and two, it's going to overheat. And so your question is, what happens? Here's typically what happens when a car overheats. It overheats, it blows the water out, which you can see it's blowing the water out. Then the gauge is flashing red, and then, you know, as it continues to get hotter and hotter and hotter, it just starts losing power. And so the car starts slowing down, you know, which is a good thing, because then I'm not saying every engine won't do that, but most of the time, Jack knows as well as I do, they'll blow the water out, they'll start getting hot, it'll blow a head gasket, or it just starts losing power. It's that simple, and it just starts expiring. It won't break like that, so it'll just start losing power, most likely. That's what happens to them.